Sadhuvadam Vaiyasakissa Bhagavanathar Vishnuratam Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashagdham Vyahartumarabhata Bhagavata Pradhanaha Sutavacha Evam Nishamya Bhrugunandana Sadhuvadam Vaiyasakissa Bhagavanatha Vishnuratam Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashagdham Vyahartumarabhata Bhagavat Pradhanaha Sutavacha Evam Nishamya Bhrugunandana Sadhuvadam Vaiyasakissa Bhagavanatha Vishnuratam Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashagdham Vyahartumarabhata Bhagavata Pradhanaha Sutavacha Evam Nishamya Bhrugunandana Sadhuvadam Vaiyasakissa Bhagavanatha Vishnuratam Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashagdham Vyahartumarabhata Bhagavata Pradhanaha Sutavacha Suta Goswami said, Evam thus Nishamya hearing Bhrugunandana, O son of the Bhrigu dynasty, Shaunaka, Sadhuvadam, pious questions, Vaiyasakihi, Shukadev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, Saha, he, Bhagavan, the most powerful, Atha, thus, Vishnuratam, unto Parikshit Maharaj, who was always protected by Vishnu, Pratyarcha, offering him respectful obeisances, Krishna Charitam, topics of Lord Krishna, Kalikalmashagdham, which diminish the troubles of this age of Kali, Vyahartum, to describe, Arabhata, began, Bhagavata Pradhanaha, Shukadev Goswami, the chief among the pure devotees. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Suta Goswami said, O son of Bhrigu, Shaunaka Rishi, after Shukadev Goswami, the most respectable devotee, the son of Vyasadeva, heard the pious questions of Maharaj Parikshit, he thanked the king with great respect. Then he began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna, which are the remedy for all sufferings in this age of Kali. Please repeat this translation after me. Suta Goswami said, O son of Bhrigu, Shaunaka Rishi, after Shukadeva Goswami, the most respectable devotee, the son of Vyasadeva, heard the pious questions of Maharaj Parikshit, he thanked the king with great respect. Then he began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna, which are the remedy for all sufferings in this age of Kali. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, the words Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmashagnam indicate that the activities of Lord Krishna are certainly the greatest panacea for all miseries, especially in this age of Kali. It is said that in Kali Yuga, people have only short lives and they have no culture of spiritual consciousness. If anyone is at all interested in spiritual culture, he is misled by many bogus swamis and yogis who do not refer to Krishna Katha. Therefore, most people are unfortunate and disturbed by many calamities. Srila Vyasadeva prepared Srimad Bhagavatam at the request of Narad Muni in order to give relief to the suffering people of this age, Kali Kalmashagnam. The Krishna consciousness movement is seriously engaged in enlightening people through the pleasing topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. All over the world, message of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is being accepted in all spheres of life, especially in advanced educated circles. Srila Shukadeva Goswami is described in this verse as Bhagavata Pradhanaha, whereas Maharaj Parikshit is described as Vishnu Ratham. Both words bear the same meaning. That is, Maharaj Parikshit was a great devotee of Krishna, and Shukadeva Goswami was also a great saintly person and a great devotee of Krishna. Combined together to present Krishna Katha, they give great relief to suffering humanity. Anarthopashamam sakshat bhakti yogam adhokshaje lokasya ajanato vidvan chakre satvata samhitam. The material miseries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotional service. But the mass of people do not know this, and therefore the learned Vyasadeva compiled this Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is in relation to the supreme truth. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 7th chapter, 6th verse. People in general are unaware that the message of Srimad Bhagavatam can give all of human society relief from the pangs of Kali Yuga, Kali Kalmashagnam. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So far, Parikshit Maharaj has been asking some questions. This is the beginning of the 10th canto, which will exclusively describe Krishna's activities, elaborately by Shukadev Goswami. Now, Suta Goswami is speaking this verse to Shaunaka Rishi. So, as I mentioned many times earlier, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many different conversations. But all conversations have got some things in common. One of the things is that all of them are simply meant for glorifying Krishna and his incarnations and his pure devotees. Even though sometimes it is difficult to follow the sequence in which different questions are asked by different persons, different devotees, and the answers given by yet other set of devotees. Even if you simply hear this Bhagavatam or study or read as Krishna Katha, glorification of Krishna, then you get the topmost benefit. You very easily are able to purify your heart. You prepare yourself to go back to Godhead, go to Krishna Loka. So, Suta Goswami began speaking the Bhagavatam when there was an assembly of great sages in Naimisharanya, a holy place. They could foresee that Kali Yuga is going to begin, and in Kali Yuga, people are having so many disadvantages. So, in this verse, Suta Goswami is particularly mentioning Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmashagdham. This description of Lord Krishna by Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj is meant for destroying all the troubles of this age of Kali. So throughout the Bhagavatam, this is particularly stressed that this Bhagavatam is especially meant for Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is full of so many faults. Among the series of 4 yugas, Kali Yuga is the yuga with maximum faults. That's because beginning from Satya Yuga, in this material world is the nature or the characteristic that with progress of time, there is deterioration in good qualities. And periodically, there has to be a destruction in order to begin a new cycle of people engaging in spiritual life because they are having so many good qualities. So we are in the fourth age of this cycle of 4 yugas, Kali Yuga. And as we can easily understand by looking at the atmosphere around us, there are so many effects in this Kali Yuga. So they are also mentioned in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, and they are repeated by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. So Suta Goswami is describing or narrating the Bhagavatam, which he heard from Shukadeva Goswami, because the sage of Naimisharanya were very eager to hear about Krishna. So if anybody wants to hear about Krishna, then simply they have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Even though all the Vedic literature are simply glorifying Krishna. Hari Sarvatra Giyate. Srila Madhvacharya says, in all the Vedic literature, it's only containing glorification of Krishna. That's all. But exclusive glorification of Krishna only, it is to be found in Srimad Bhagavatam. So therefore, Suta Goswami is narrating the questions asked by Parikshit and the reply given by Shukadeva Goswami, which constitutes the actual Bhagavatam. Now, the beginning of the 10th canto, Parikshit Maharaj is very eager to hear about Krishna's activities in detail, because at the end of the 9th canto, Shukadeva Goswami described the Yadu dynasty, the pious kings appearing in the Yadu dynasty. And particularly he mentioned that Krishna himself appeared in the Yadu dynasty as the son of one of the kings of the Yadu dynasty, Vasudeva. And Krishna performed extraordinary activities. So very briefly, Shukadeva Goswami described about Krishna's activities. Parikshit Maharaj became very inquisitive to hear detailed description of Krishna's activity. Why? Because Parikshit Maharaj actually is a devotee of Krishna. Being a devotee of Krishna, he is described here as Vishnu Ratha. He is always protected by Krishna. So after hearing the pious questions of Parikshit Maharaj, now questions can be of so many different kinds, but Parikshit Maharaj's questions are described as pious questions, sadhu adam. Questions of this nature are meant for the welfare of the entire creation, all the people of the world. So, Parikshit Maharaj is the most suitable person to ask such questions. And Shukadeva Goswami is the most suitable devotee to give answers to all these particular questions. So, after hearing these questions, Shukadeva Goswami thanked the king with great respect. Here, king refers to Parikshit. Shukadeva Goswami thanked Parikshit Maharaj for the questions he asked with great respect. Because Shukadeva Goswami knows Parikshit Maharaj is actually a pure devotee and he doesn't require to hear the answers. He already knows the answers. But then he's taking a humble position, and on behalf of the common people who may not be able to ask all these very important questions, Parikshit Maharaj is asking the most relevant questions for our benefit. And Shukadeva Goswami also is speaking for our benefit primarily. And it is being recorded by the greatest personality, Vyasadeva. When Shukadeva Goswami was speaking, Vyasadeva was sitting in an assembly and hearing. So Vyasadeva is recording Shuka Vacha, Raja Vacha, Parikshit Vacha, like that. Now, Shukadeva Goswami himself has learned this Bhagavatam from his father, Vyasadeva. Then why should Vyasadeva sit and hear? That is because whenever Krishna is glorified by a devotee, Krishna is personally present in the form of the sound of the glorification. This is the point. So the words of the Bhagavatam, the narration of the Bhagavatam, if it enters the ears of somebody, it will immediately purify the heart, the consciousness. And as soon as the heart is purified of all contamination, then this sound vibration of Krishna Katha will awaken the bhakti, the devotion which is already there in the heart of everyone. So two things. One has to hear, and in the beginning that hearing will result in purification of the consciousness. And when the consciousness is purified fully, then the same vibration of Krishna's glories will awaken bhakti in the core of the heart. And that is the perfection of this human form of life. Once that bhakti is awakened, we perfectly know and understand who we are, who is Krishna, what is this world, what is my relationship with Krishna, where do I belong to. Everything becomes completely clear. So therefore, this is the most recommended method of purifying our consciousness in this age of Kali. So after the great saintly sage Shukadeva Goswami thanked King Parikshit with great respect, then he began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna. Why? Because these topics are the best remedy for all sufferings in this age of Kali. So Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, the activities of Lord Krishna are the greatest panacea for all miseries. The beginning itself, Parikshit Maharaj described. Bhavaushada, this disease of repeated birth and death, which is the characteristic of this material world. This disease can be cured very, very easily by speaking or hearing or remembering the name, form, qualities, pastimes, etc. of Lord Krishna. In this age of Kali, as already described in the first canto of Bhagavatam, people have very short life. So, duration of life of people in different yugas is different. It's not the same. In Satya Yuga, the duration of life of human beings on this earth planet, we are talking, used to be 100,000 years or 1 lakh years. Laksha Varsha. That was the lifespan. And as the age progressed, the time progressed, and Satya Yuga was over and Treta Yuga began, the second age. Then the duration of life reduced to 10,000 years. 10,000 years. The maximum duration, of course, duration here means the maximum duration. Then with the progress of time, the third age, third yuga, the duration of life became 1,000 years maximum. This is the duration of life of human beings on the earth planet. Then at the beginning of Kali Yuga, it further reduced to 100 years maximum. So you can very well understand that even this 100 years was at the beginning of Kali Yuga. Already 5,000 years is over. Gradually, the duration of life is coming down even further. Not everyone lives full 100 years. People may live 80 years, 90 years, 60 years, 70 years. So the duration of life is reducing even further as Kali Yuga progresses. And towards the end of Kali Yuga, the Bhagavatam describes people's duration of life will be just about 20 years. So, duration of life is short. Now, what is the reason why this is being pointed out as one of the defects of Kali Yuga? Because human life is meant for God realization. And people in general are not inclined towards God consciousness or God realization. So, to impress upon the people, the materialistic people, the importance of self-realization, spiritual life, and then arouse their interest, and then they actually practice Krishna consciousness and perfect themselves. It takes time. So something which takes time, if the time duration is very short, then very less chances that people will actually take up spiritual life in Kali Yuga as compared to other ages. So therefore, this short duration of life is a defect of Kali Yuga. Then it's also said they have no culture of spiritual consciousness. See, culture means something that is coming down through the generations of our ancestors, forefathers, in the family, in the community, in the society, and for that matter, in the whole world. That's why Srila Prabhupada says, during the earlier yugas, when Vedic culture was very, very prominent, everybody knew what is the goal of life. Everybody knew what is the purpose of this human form of life, etc. Now, among all the different places on this surface of this earth planet, this Bharatavarsha is a special place where Vedic culture has flourished and has not fully deteriorated even in this Kali Yuga. Still you see Vedic culture is remaining to whatever extent. So this Vedic culture means the culture of spiritual consciousness. Everybody is engaged in spiritual activities, understanding that is the most important business in life, human life. Everybody understands in Vedic culture that this material enjoyment or sense enjoyment is available in all species of life. So one need not waste this human intelligence or the facility of this human form simply for enjoying like animals, birds, insects, worms. They're all enjoying. And they are more expert in enjoying than human beings. So these are all explained in the Bhagavatam. In different conversations, enlightened devotees, they speak that human life should never be used for sense enjoyment, which is automatically available moment you get a material body. Just consider the example of a small child. As soon as it is born, just because of the body it has got so many ways of enjoying, getting some pleasure. The pleasure of eating or drinking, pleasure of the tongue. As soon as the child is born, first thing it sucks the mother's breast. And it is very, very happy, very satisfied. Is it not? The pleasure of sleeping. When the child is born, immediately after birth, it's either being fed or it is sleeping. So the pleasure of sleep also available. Then some recreation. When the child grows up, it will not sleep as much as it was sleeping when it was just born. So then the mother has to play with the child or somehow engage the child. Child will enjoy that also. Initially, just because the child cannot yet properly use its hands and legs. So no toys in the beginning. But slowly it will begin to play with toys. So nobody need teach or make arrangements or secure some facilities for eating, for sleeping, for playing, recreation, neither for working. Because working also, all the living entities, for their basic survival, they are anyway engaged in working in different ways. So, human form of life is meant for this spiritual consciousness, spiritual awareness, spiritual activities, with the understanding that automatically all the material needs and the basic necessities of this body are fulfilled simply by engaging in devotional service, in Krishna consciousness. So this very important message is there in the Bhagavatam. Very important message. This Bhagavatam is summarized by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Very briefly in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yajnarthat karmanaha. Everybody has to work, at least for maintaining themselves. So do it for yajna. Yajna means Krishna, Vishnu. Yajnarthat karmana. And by doing so, you become free from karma bandhana. You become free from all material bondage. And as soon as you're free from material bondage and you're engaged in working for Vishnu, Krishna, then automatically your Krishna consciousness is awakened in the heart and you become situated in devotional service and your life becomes perfect. Just these two words in the Bhagavad Gita, everything is communicated. Yajnarthat karmanaha. Everywhere around you see people are working. But for whom are they working? For what are they working? Why are they working? That could be so many different reasons. But that is not the real purpose of human life. To work for money, to work for name and fame, to work for securing ourselves, to work for getting some necessities, not at all required actually. Especially in Kali Yuga, people think, if I don't work, then I will not get even my basic needs. Prabhupada gives a very simple, Shastras give a simple example. In the Bhagavatam it is said, you go to let's say you go to the African jungle, you can find so many varieties of living beings. All kinds of trees, plants, shrubs, creepers, grass, microbes, worms, insects, animals, birds, aquatics in ponds and rivers and all kinds of living entities. Are they all working? Are they all working? Any of them are working for food? No. It is being provided. Eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. Krishna is Paramatma is present in the heart of everyone. And he is providing whatever anyone requires to survive, to maintain. So they are simply engaged in whatever sense enjoyment that is available in their situation, and they're just living happily. Whereas human beings, at least in Kali Yuga, think, if I don't work, I'll not even have food to eat. And if I don't secure myself, there is danger and I may even die. Now, death is actually already born with this body. It's already there with this body. Krishna also explains this in the Bhagavatam. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. For somebody who's taken birth, death is certain. And it is also fixed. It's not random when somebody is going to die. Because death comes after what is called as the lifespan has exhausted. Lifespan is over. Just because the tigers live by killing and eating some other animals, let's say the tiger kills a deer and eats that flesh, and that's the way the tiger lives. So does it mean there are no deers at all in the entire jungle? Plenty of deers are there. And among these creatures other than human beings, a tiger will go hunting only when it is hungry. And once it kills a particular animal, that flesh will last it for many, many days or even weeks. So when it has food or when its belly is full, it will not kill. Even if a deer just passes by, comes near, it will not kill. And Ishopanishad says this, take only as much as is your quota required for your maintenance. Don't take excess. So Prabhupada gives the example, if we keep an entire sack of grains in the open field, birds will come, they'll take only as much as they require. Even an animal comes, how much will it take? As much as it requires to eat. But a human being, oh, see one sack, maybe he requires immediately for food, he requires some 1 or 2 kilos. But he'll take the entire 50 kg sack. So this human mentality is actually a degraded mentality, especially in Kali Yuga. So this Kali Kalmasha, the troubles of this age of Kali, or the contamination of the age of Kali. So many ways we can understand this word, Kalmasha, can be destroyed simply by hearing Bhagavatam. simply by hearing Bhagavatam or reading Bhagavatam. So, the topics of Krishna are the remedy for all sufferings in this age of Kali. Now, to understand how it works, the whole philosophy is there in the Bhagavatam. What are the contaminations? How does this work hearing Krishna Katha? What actually happens? What are the complications of people who do not take to spiritual life? In so many ways they suffer. Suffering is a characteristic of material existence. But in Kali Yuga, the miseries are multiplied in several ways. In thousands and millions of ways it is multiplied. Like only in Kali Yuga, you will have people, he's a billionaire, but he's full of anxiety. And what is his anxiety? He could have so many anxieties. But one of the most ridiculous anxieties he has is whether I'll be able to invest, if he has 1 billion rupees, for his requirement, he hardly requires any very, very tiny fraction of that for his living. The remainder, whether I'll be able to invest and multiply that. So always in anxiety, because he'll invest somewhere, and whether that investment will actually give me the profits or the returns that I'm expecting. Let us say he does not get, he expected to multiply it by some 50% more. Okay. Supposing he didn't get 50% returns, he got only 25% returns. So he invested, let us say, 1 billion. He was expecting it will become 1.5 billion. Annual results, quarterly results, nowadays it's even short term they see the results. So annual result, instead of 1.5 billion, it is 1.25 billion, full of anxiety. Analyze the causes. What was the mistake? Why was the return not so much? And he'll already start thinking, this time it was only 25%. Next time I invest, it may become 10%. Or I may not even get back what I invested entirely. And then within the core of the heart, everybody knows that I have to die. And death means I have to leave everything and go. So that fear is always there. Especially for somebody who is not cultivating the spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness. That fear is always there. Anytime death can come and all my plans will be completely smashed. And I have to leave behind everything and go. But even if a person, for some time he does not think about death, I still have got some years to live. Okay. So what happens if I lose all my money? That's another anxiety. See, you forget one anxiety. If you don't replace anxieties with Krishna consciousness, anxiety will be replaced with another anxiety. So become intelligent. We don't want to bother with all these anxieties. We don't want anxiety. Nobody wants anxieties. So get rid of anxieties by replacing them with Krishna consciousness. Chant Hare Krishna and you see all the anxieties will keep on reducing. All anxieties. Mantra means that sound which frees you from anxiety, fear, confusion, doubt. all the problems that afflict the mind. And once the problems of the mind are gone, all the problems of the body will automatically vanish. Automatically vanish. No problem for the body. In fact, in Ayurveda as well as in other Indian systems of medicine, they say that a disease, before it appears in the physical body, it appears in the mind. And this is a fact. The problem for the body starts with the mind. So, to keep the mind free from all these problems, the best remedy is Krishna consciousness. So, there could be other remedies also for calming the mind, for freeing the mind from some anxiety, etc. But the best remedy is Krishna consciousness. And therefore, among all the spiritual remedies for freeing the mind from anxiety, like there are many mantras. All the mantras are meant for the same purpose, to free the mind from anxiety. But the best mantra, particularly the mantra which Kali Kalmashanashanam, just like here it is said, Krishna Katha can destroy all Kali Kalmasha. Same way, the Hare Krishna mantra can destroy all Kali Kalmasha. Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. So therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement, the Hare Krishna movement, the ISKCON movement, recommends people, please chant Hare Krishna mantra. And please hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Hare Krishna mantra and the Srimad Bhagavatam are particularly very effective for destroying Kali Kalmasha. Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmashagnam. Also, if somebody can just chant Hare Krishna, it is enough. But the difficulty is we don't have taste or attraction or interest in chanting Hare Krishna so much. So we cannot do it for a very long time. So therefore, variety of activities is given by the Acharyas. Srila Rupa Goswami, one of the direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has written a book called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The complete science of Bhakti Yoga is explained in that. So there he says 64 different kinds of activities you can engage in. All these activities are activities of engaging the body, the mind, and the words. We act through these three. This is what is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Karmana manasa vacha. Physical activity using our external senses. Manasa, using our mind. We work using our mind also. And then vacha, through speech, through speaking, we are working. So, all the three varieties of activities, all varieties of devotional activities you can do are listed systematically by Srila Rupa Goswami. That's why in ISKCON also, when you come, you have varieties of different engagements. We have Arati, we have Kirtan, we have Bhagavatam recitation, we have Prasadam, we have Charanamrit. We offer incense. You smell the fragrance of that incense offered to Krishna. The deity is nicely decorated with beautiful ornaments and beautiful dress. seeing the deity very beautifully decorated. These are all definite activities listed by Srila Rupa Goswami, and Prabhupada has made available all those different engagements if you actually come in contact with the temples established by Srila Prabhupada. So simply by engaging in these varieties of activities of bhakti, which are all meant for Kali Kalmashagnam, for destroying all the evil influence of Kali, all the disadvantages of Kali, all the troubles of Kali. You just try to engage more and more, then automatically your engagement in other material activities will reduce. Material activities are simply giving you more and more trouble. Already you are having some trouble by virtue of taking birth in this material world. This material body means some problem, some troubles. But they increase by people foolishly engaging in different varieties of material activities. So to cut down these material activities, begin with chanting Hare Krishna and engage in varieties of activities like chanting Hare Krishna. And your mind anxieties will keep on reducing. That way your body becomes less and less prone to sickness. The sickness in the body will reduce. You'll be visiting doctors less. You'll be taking less and less medicines, oral medication, or this medical treatment will reduce. Simply if you increase your devotional activities. And they're very simple. Come to the temple, just have darshan of the deities. Fill your eyes with the beautiful decoration of the deities. Fill your ears with Krishna bhajan, Krishna kirtan, Hare Krishna mantra. For your filling your belly, eat nice prasadam. Take nice prasadam. For, see, the tongue also demands variety. Right? So even tasting Charanamrit, drinking Charanamrit is also a variety for satisfying the tongue. Like that, so many ways you can engage in devotional service, and we'll also teach you when you cannot come to the temple every day. You come once a week, okay. Other days you can do these things even at home. We'll teach you how to do at home. So in this way, you become completely free from all these Kali Kalmasha. Then life becomes very, very simplified. And simplification doesn't mean you're denying yourself so many kinds of nonsense material pleasures. Yes, material pleasures will vanish. But then they'll all be replaced with wonderful spiritual happiness. There is an ocean of transcendental bliss to be tasted or experienced in every spiritual engagement. It takes little time. We associate with devotees and you will be able to understand better. So this is the request. This Kali Kalmasha is not easy to be destroyed. Through the conventional methods, it is very, very slow and very difficult. It's like people ask, we can also chant Om. Yes, Om also is the spiritual vibration, which is non-different from Krishna. But to chant Om, the rules and regulations are so very stringent. And the atmosphere that we live in, generally, village, town, or city, is not suitable for chanting Om. You have to go to a holy place or you have to go to the forest to chant Om effectively. While remaining in the city, you can chant Hare Krishna and get the same benefit much more easily than chanting Om. Therefore, we say, please chant Hare Krishna. Like that, every single recommendation of practice of bhakti is the most effective in destroying all the Kali Kalmasha, all the troubles of Kali Yuga. So let's stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.